Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. Sorry, Justin coined and PM. I didn't mean to time you guys out. I was working on this new bot. Should be good to go now. Should be good to go now. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Hope everybody is having a great day. Hope everybody had a good weekend, most importantly. Yeah, man, we're gonna have a good night tonight, as always. You guys know the vibes. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Let's see what's going on here. Let me see if I can get this fixed. I'm not sure what's going on here. Alright, there we go. Bang, bang. Alrighty, guys. Welcome in. Once again, everybody. Appreciate your time on this beautiful Sunday evening. For anybody that's new here, welcome, welcome. The way that we structure these lives is I'm going to go ahead and go over this economic calendar first. Then we're going to get into the watch list for the week ahead. As you guys can see, we have that beautiful light counter at the bottom. You guys already know, man. That gets filled up as a giveaway for y'all, which we'll do towards the end. And yeah, man, let's get it. Give me 1 second here and we'll rock out. Alrighty, let's get it, y'all. Sunday fun day, baby. Alright, let me make this screen bigger for you guys. And let's get into the good stuff. Let's go, here we go. So, we're going into the week of August 19th, Monday. Monday, we're good to go. Nothing exciting, as you guys can see here. Tuesday, nothing really exciting here either. We have a couple Fed speakers. Wednesday is really when the fun begins. We have FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For anybody that doesn't know the difference, FOMC usually is a statement at 2 p.m. and then we have, obviously, J Powell talking at 2:30. FOMC minutes is totally different. It is a closed door meeting, so it's just going to be essentially a statement release. Sometimes the market reacts to it, sometimes the market doesn't, so don't expect too much here. But on the other hand, Thursday, we start with the Jackson Hole speech, which is super important historically. So definitely stay cash from Wednesday into Thursday, Thursday into Friday, because this is a 2-day event, all right? So it starts Thursday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then it continues Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, we have our usual, which has got jobless claims as well, along with PMI at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by existing home sales. So the big 2 days this week are going to be Thursday and Friday. Of course, Wednesday is important as well. We have the FOMC minutes, but the big days here are going to be Thursday and Friday specifically. We got Jackson Hole starting on Thursday, 8 a.m. Then we have jobless claims, PMI, existing home sales, and then we also have on Friday, Jackson Hole continuing, and then we have Powell speaking at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. I gotta look into this, see exactly what he's speaking about, but should be interesting for sure, especially after Jackson Hole, and then we have new home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Regardless of the fact, there is a lot of important data this week, especially if we can get it all on the same page, meaning good or bad, because the context of where we're currently trading is kind of like a teeter-totter, right? Bad data, market hits the floor. Good data, market goes back to all-time highs. And we're going to get into the charts in 1 second. But just to summarize what I just covered, Monday we're good to go. Tuesday we're good to go. Wednesday, FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, we have Jackson Hole starting at 8 a.m., followed by that jobless claims at 8:30, PMI at 9:45, 10 a.m. existing home sales. So Thursday is going to be a big day, especially after market open with PMI and existing home sales. Always be mindful when that data comes out. Try not to be too heavy in the trade or in a trade at all, right? Friday, Jackson Hole's going to continue. It's going to be at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then obviously we have Powell talking at 10 a.m. So that's going to be super interesting. I'll double back and check on that for you guys and see exactly what's going on. And then we have new home sales to end Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So big week in terms of economic data. Charts are even bigger in my opinion. And let's get into those right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to do something real quick. While we're on this, I'm going to take this trade with you guys right now, and I'll explain my rationale in a second. But I just shorted. Give me 1 second. Yes. Yeah, I just shorted ES here. Alrighty, let's get into these charts, y'all. As we come down to this time frame, I'll explain my rationale for going short on ES right now. But yeah, I just entered a position on ES. I'll explain in a second. But let's start with this monthly time frame, and I'll go down and explain my rationale. As we all know, man, we talked about this monthly chart last week. This chart, in my opinion, right, is the epitome of strength, right? And you guys know, I've said this a million times. I'll say it again. These charts are like a book, right? They tell a story. You just got to know how to read them. Right? And this candlestick here tells a very in-depth story, right? At one point in time, this thing was fully red. So just think about that for a second. The significance of this candle is beyond measure, right? This is a 9% candle from top to bottom. So we were down 9% on this specific monthly candle. And then, right, we've seen that nasty relief bounce back all the way to the top of this candle, seeing a 9% move down and then a 9% move back up, flipping this bearish candle all the way into a bullish pin bar, bullish hammer doji, right? So in terms of actually understanding the sentiment from this monthly chart, one, we're looking at the overall structure, which is extremely bullish, right? Two, we're looking at the context in which this candle came about. We pushed back down into this major demand, held it, wicked all the way back up, and formed a bullish reversal candlestick pattern here on the monthly, which holds incredible weight in terms of sentiment. This, in fact, is a very bullish chart in my opinion, right? Well, not even in my opinion, just speaking facts, right? This is a bullish chart, no matter which way you look at it, right? So, and you guys also know, when we're looking at these time frames, we're going through these multiple time frames, we're looking for confluence and conflict. So if we were to make a quick statement based off what we're seeing here on this monthly chart, we'd say bullish, right? Now, go down to the weekly. Same thing, right? We're doing the same thing we did on the monthly here on the weekly, right? If we're looking at the overall structure, very bullish, right? Holding these higher highs, higher lows throughout this whole trend. We just had this recent pullback, which ES was down about 10%. So from a technical standpoint, we've seen a correction, right? Which is what you usually see in bull markets, right? Same thing we've seen here, right? Seen a correction followed by a massive rip. What do we see here? A correction followed by a massive rip. Here we are, we just corrected again, and we clearly seen, hey, buyers were very much so active through this whole move, seeing a 10% move down, right? So from all-time highs, we made a 10% move, right? Within a matter of about 5 weeks. And then we made that same move essentially in half the time. So if that doesn't show you how strong buyers were throughout this relief bounce, I don't know what does, right? So getting a perspective from this weekly chart, I would say, hey, okay, yes, we're strong, right? We just put a new higher low, but now we're getting a bit extended, right? If you're looking at the actual structure in terms of market mechanics, we're getting a bit extended, right? You don't usually see the magnitude of this move in this short a period of time on these indices, right? This is not what you see. So we're trading a little bit outside of our ATR, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean by that in a second. So when I'm talking about ATR, I'm talking about the average true range. It essentially shows you how much that stock is moving on that given time frame. So if we're just looking from a weekly perspective, right, you can see that this is the highest the ATR has been since we initially pulled back and entered a bear market back here. So this is the highest it's been in essentially 2 years or a year and a half, right? So the market has very wide ranges, been very volatile, and price action has shown us that, right? So where we're specifically trading at, we're trading way outside of the ATR. If it's 143, we made a 473 point move. So we're trading at 3 times the usual ATR on the weekly time frame, which is absolutely absurd, right? So just for perspective, these conditions aren't normal, and we should be adjusting according to that, right? So taking a quick look in terms of the monthly, bullish, weekly. Overall structure is bullish, but as I stated, we're getting a bit overextended. If you come down to the daily, this is when it starts to shift a little bit. This is where we start to see that conflict, right? In terms of the daily structure, sure, yeah, we're still very bullish. We can all see that, right? But where we're currently trading from a risk to reward standpoint, this is like the last line of defense, right? This is the line in the sand. Point blank period, 5,600, right? This is the line in the sand, right? As we can see, obviously we had that relief bounce, pushed all the way back into this major supply. So this is the decision point, right? This is where the market's got to say, hey, okay, we're going back to these recent lows, or hey, we're going to reclaim here and we're going back to all-time highs. This is the make or break, right? This is the bottom line make or break level, right? This is our last recent lower high, right? As you guys can see, we have our high followed by that lower high, lower high, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. And then obviously you guys can see here, the first indication of that relief bounce was when we put in a higher low here. And then we paired that obviously with the rip. And we didn't even put in a new higher low. We just made this whole extension here without even showing any type of reversal after we've already hit this supply. So when we're looking at a structure standpoint, we're trading back into this recent lower high, which held this little mini downtrend on the daily chart. So this is like the decision point, right? We're either going to hold here, put in another lower high, and then push back down into these lows, or we're going to wipe out this recent lower high, put back in another higher high, and work our way back to all-time highs. So this is why I say it's the line in the sand, last line of defense. This is the level we have to watch, right? This is the bottom line level, right? This is just what it is, right? So from just a standpoint in terms of what we should be looking to trade, right? There's 2 big levels I want to watch, right? One is this 5630, and you guys can see the significance of this, right? So there's, in my opinion, what might happen when you see the market that gets this extended like this, right? Makes a move way outside of its ATR. In this case, in my opinion, long's bit off a little bit more than they can chew, right? If, right, I want to talk about a scenario real quick. Longs continue to push this higher, right? We're in 5,600 supply right now. Let's say they break this, right? That 100% is a long trigger above 5,600. But I want to keep my eyes wide open back into this 5,630, right? The reason I want to watch this 5,630 is because this is really that major hourly supply, as you guys can see here. This was respected for previous all-time highs, held as support, 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 and then again as resistance. So this is really the zone we should be trading, which is 5,600, 5,630, right? This is a level that we need to be watching, right? So with that being said, right, first is I want to watch this 5,600, right? But let's say, for example, we break. I also want to keep an eye on this 5,630. So I'm going to be watching this whole area for essentially a reject, right? I just entered short a few minutes ago when I first started this live. My stop loss in this case is going to be above 5,600. I'm not using a 30-point stop, but you guys can see my rationale right here. The reason I'm short is because we're trading back into this major supply, right? The risk reward here is absolutely amazing, right? I'm risking $10 here. My first initial target is going to be 55.40. So that's essentially a 40-point move, right? That puts me at about a 4R trade. This is a beautiful trade in terms of risk reward, right? I'm completely fine risking $10, knowing I could potentially make 40 points if we got that move lower, right? And this is what trading's all about. We have a key technical setup based off this major supply, defined our risk, we have our reward, we planned a 4R trade, if we realize a 4R trade, it's absolutely amazing. If we stop out, realize a negative 1R, hey, awesome as well. This was a great setup regardless, right? So that's my rationale. But just going back to the standpoint of what we should be trading this week, big thing we want to focus on is that 5,600, right? If we break that 5,600, it's very likely we're going to squeeze. I don't want to scare you guys out of longs, but watch that 56.30. That's a big inflection point we've seen previously. So definitely watch that 56.30. I would be a lot more confident if we got above 56.30. That's when I could say, hey, okay, I'm very confident in longs. We're likely going to see a push back into 56.65 and then 5,700 at these previous all-time highs, right? So that's the upside game plan here. Very simple. Now, from a downside standpoint, right, let's say we reject here. That is beautiful, right? We want to see a rejection here, right? That's beautiful. If we get back below 55.40, that's where we can start looking for those short setups back down into 5,500. 5,500 is a big level, so we could look for a higher risk relief bounce there. But the main watch is obviously going to be get back below that. Then that's where we can really have confidence going short, back down into this 5,400, 5,410, where we could take a higher conviction relief bounce, right? So from the game plan for the downside, right, is hey, if we fail this 5,600 where we're currently trading now, and we get back below 55.40, we can look for that short entry below 55.40 down into 5,500. Definitely want to look to take profit into that 5,500 as it's also the 50 MA on the daily. And it's a big psychological level. If we get below 5,500, that's the lights out, right? That's likely when we'll see that move back down into 54.40 and that 5,400. Main watch for a relief bounce is going to be that 5,400, which is also in confluence with that daily 100 MA. So this is the main watch here on ES. We have very clean levels, right? Just got to be patient and wait for an opportunity to present itself. But like I said, from a standpoint here, like just going over the time frames, just going over the outlook, essentially to say, is like there's a great possibility, right? Like a super great possibility. Like even looking at this monthly chart, like us making right now, we're trading about 2% from all-time highs. We can make that move in a day or two, right? So I'm not surprised, and you shouldn't be surprised if you see ES trading at new all-time highs this week, right? It's very possible. We have the catalyst to do so. So in my opinion, I think this week we're either going to be at new all-time highs or we're going to be back down towards the low of this 5,400, 5,300, right? That's my personal opinion. I say we see either 5,800 this week or 5,400. Those are my targets, right? Bullish or bearish, doesn't matter. I'm here to trade whatever the market gives me. I'm here to react, not predict. That's why I'm giving you guys an open-ended game plan, which I plan on trading myself, right? But yeah, that's what I'm watching here on ES. And yeah, man, it looks very, very good. Very, very good. Like I said, though, it's like monthly chart, extremely bullish. Weekly chart, I would consider it very bullish as well. Daily chart, that's when you have that conflict, right? You guys can see here, we essentially just made a 10% equity move from 5,100 all the way back into 5,600. That's a 500-point move, right? Yes, we were strong in terms of price action, but one of the key notes here is we had no volume, right? I think it's just too obvious for this to break and go back to all-time highs. And even outside of that, a risk-to-reward standpoint, the risk-to-reward entering short here is absolutely amazing. I would take this same trade 100 times over and lose 100 times if I had to and still take it the 101st time. That's how quality of a setup this is, right? Not just based off of the supply or where we're currently trading. The context in which this trade came about is most important, right? We just made a 10% relief bounce from lows, zero pullback into this major supply. The market allowed us to have an excellent risk reward here, especially trading futures at this specific moment. And you just got to take it, right? This is a setup you got to take, right? There's whether win, lose, or draw. This is a setup you execute over the long term. You will be profitable, right? 100%. These type of setups are beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, very open-minded this week for valid reason, as I talked about with that data. But yeah, this is what I'm watching here on ES. I would translate this to you guys on SPY as well here in a moment. Just give me a second. I don't know why the light thing's not working. It hasn't been working at all lately. This fucking dumb thing. Let me see. Starts working now, maybe. I don't know why, it's just not working. I'm keeping tabs on it though. It's at 136 right now, so I'll make sure I keep tabs on it and, you know, we'll be good to go. Alrighty, let's hop into NQ here. I'm gonna just turn it off because it's not working. NQ, here we are. Let's start on the monthly as always. And yeah, man, let me know when you guys are ready and we'll get started. I'm gonna take a drink of water in the meantime. Alrighty, let's get it, y'all. So here we are. This is NQ. This is the monthly time frame. Very similar chart here in terms of structure, right? Just a quick analysis. Obviously, we're extremely strong, maintaining these higher highs and higher lows. This current monthly candle is what I really want to focus on right now because one, we pushed back down into this massive structure here, and as same thing I spoke about with ES. This was a fully red candle at one point. We pushed back into this demand. Buyers stepped in, as we can see, right, and pushed us all the way into a bullish hammer, bullish pin bar. This is about as strong as you can get in terms of strength. So a monthly standpoint, this chart's extremely strong. In my opinion, has plenty of more room to run. I wouldn't be surprised if this broke 20K soon, but I think we do need a pullback as these lower time frames are getting very extended. Weekly standpoint, pretty much the same perspective, right? We pushed down into that major demand, which was about 17,200, held, kind of formed a beautiful double bottom here, and now we're trading back into this major supply, which I want to talk about on the daily. So monthly and weekly standpoint, extremely strong. We held this major uptrend, as you guys can see here. This was the third touch, and the overall uptrend's intact, right? So if we were going to go back to all-time highs from anywhere, this would be it. But before we do, this is the last line of defense. Same thing I was talking about in ES, same thing here on NQ. As you guys can see, this is the line in the sand. Very, very simple, right? You guys can see how strong this level is, right? This was that massive support that we broke, retested, seen a 15% equity move off of, and now we're here trading back in that same area, right? And a couple things I want to talk about is, one, when you're looking at a setup, right, you're not looking at where the stock is currently trading solely, right? You're looking at the context in which the setup came about, right? So I'm looking at this supply in a manner of, hey, okay, we just made a 12% move to the downside, right? Bounced off these lows, right? Let's just talk about something real quick, right? Market, right? Rejected this major demand as resistance, turned into supply, right? We rejected here. Seen a 12% move to the downside, back into this massive demand, right? Push right back into this demand, this trendline support. What happened? We've seen a mirrored 12% move to the upside, right back into this major supply, right? So if we're looking at perspective, right, the same thing we did here, it's very likely we could do again here, right? Just look at the context. The context is almost identical, right? This downside move, sharp rejection, straight into demand, demand, right back into supply, right? You flip that move, demand, major demand, right? Bounce, straight back into the supply, zero relief, zero pullbacks, zero nothing, right? Same exact context, no volume. So if you're looking at the chart, it's literally like mirrored in the opposite direction. This does not happen often. I feel like a lot of people are looking past that the way the market's currently trading is not normal. So if you're struggling recently, I don't want to say it's okay, but conditions have been tough, right? If you're not an experienced trader and able to compensate for the way the market's been moving through position size or how you're executing, strictly adapting, right? Conditions are probably tough for you, right? And it's for valid reason, right? Everybody was getting comfortable going short here on this move. Next thing you know, the market's blowing the top off after you just got comfortable going short. As soon as you get comfortable going long, next thing you know, market rejects and you're still comfortable going long. Right? And that's just how the market moves. You got to be willing to adapt in all scenarios, and the chart should give you that ability to say, hey, this is what I should be doing, this is what I shouldn't be doing, based off of one, structure, sentiment, and obviously your system that comes into play. But from just a standpoint here, right, it's a similar chart to ES. We just made that massive 12% move. Now we're trading back into this major supply. So the game plan is very simple, right? If we're below this 19,700, the risk to reward, in my opinion, is short. Right? The only way the risk reward wouldn't be short is if we start building here, right? We start holding, maybe forming a bull flag. That's not good, right? We don't want to consolidate below a resistance and then take a reject. We don't want to consolidate below a support or above a support, and then take a bounce, right? That's not what we want to see. Context is super important. So in this case, we want to see some signs of weakness early on, right? If not, our game plan should adjust according to price action, right? One, right? If we get above this 19,700, that's when we can say, hey, okay, shorts are off the table. We need to start looking for those pullbacks to go long back into 20,000 and this 20,400. If we somehow get back up into 20,400, that's a level I want to watch for a reject. But above 19,700 is where we can look for those long positions back into 20,000, and then we can look to flip short again at that 24, right? From a downside chart, right, what we'd want to see, right, is a rejection here. We want to see the market get weak off of this 19,700. Right, let me go down to the hourly real quick so you guys can get a better look. What we would want to see here, right, and just look at the significance of this level, right? This is super important, right? Just look at the significance of this level and what it's done to the market previously when we've interacted with it, right? It's huge, right? It's huge. So what we'd want to see here for downside is we want to see the supply reject, right? And then we'd want to see it get below that Friday's low at about 19,500. If we get below 19,500, that's where we look for a short entry back down at this 19,200. 19,200 is a higher risk level due to how close it's trading to the supply, but I would be interested in relief bounce there if we showed strength. The main watch is going to be, hey, if we get below that, that's where we can take those higher confidence shorts back down into 18,900 and then watch this 18,750 for the higher confidence relief bounce. And that's the game plan here on NQ, right? Very, very simple, level to level. Let the market present opportunity and we react to it, right? Don't try to predict the market, just react to it, right? And that's what I'm watching here on NQ. Once again, for the people in the back, above 19,700, squeeze potential is at all-time highs, right? It's very, 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 very likely we break this 19,700 and we absolutely blow the top off back into 20,000, right? And I definitely want to take parts in that. So above 19,700, we can look for those long entries. Downside, 19,500 would be the trigger back down to the 19,200, which is a big inflection point. If we get below 19,200, that's where we see that, kind of systematic selling back down to 18,750. It's a beautiful chart nonetheless, right? We have very clean levels, just need to be patient. And yeah, that's what I'm watching here on NQ, right? Very clean chart, very crazy chart, right? Like I said, we just made a 12% move in both directions within 4 weeks, right? So if you're totaling up this move, right, we've made about a 30% move on the market within a month. 12% down, 12% up, and plus the little intraday action in between. So crazy, crazy move on the market. And yeah, man, that's what I'm watching on NQ. Let's hop over to QQQ since we're just hopping off NQ. Let me know when you guys are ready and we'll rock out. I know a lot of you guys like to follow QQQ and SPY, so I'll wait for you guys. Just let me know when you're ready. Alrighty, cool. Let's get it, yo. Alright, let's see where these likes are at. I'll keep up with them. Alright, we're at 171. So right now, I do owe you guys a giveaway. I'm going to write that down. Owe you guys a giveaway. The next goal, we'll make it 250. So if you get 250, that'll be another one. Alrighty, let's get it. So QQQ, pretty much same chart here. It's NQ. Insanely strong monthly chart. It's pretty much essentially bullish as it gets, right? Massive pin bar here, massive hammer doji. Weekly chart, very, very strong as well. But what I really want to talk about is that supply, right? What that correlates to on NQ is 19,700. As you guys can see here, this is that massive supply. So game plans can be very, very similar, right? On QQQ here, what we want to watch is we're going to watch this 476, right? You guys can see this is a very, very significant supply. What we want to watch here is for longs, what we need to see is we need to see a break and hold above 476. If we get that, that's where we can look for those pullbacks to go long. And then we got that gap fill into 480. So that's one of my top watches for a long position. If we get above 480, we have nothing but room back into this 485, 485s back into 490. So this is a beautiful chart, right? Beautiful chart for upside if we can get above that 476. Downside, what we would want to see, the criteria that needs to be met is one, we reject this 476. Maybe break it, fail it, get back below it. And then we break and hold below 471.50. Below 471.50, this is nothing but room down into this 465. 465 is a big structure, as you guys can see here. So I would be interested in a higher risk relief bounce if we hit there. Main watch, though, is going to be if we get below 465, that's that real lights out move down into 4 454, 456, where we can take a higher confidence relief bounce. And that's my game plan for this week on QQQ. Above 476, that's where we can look to go long. Below 471.50, we can look to go short down in that 465, which is a big inflection point. Main watch for a release bounce is going to be at 454, 456. Very simple chart. Just got to be patient and wait for one of these levels to present opportunity. Regardless of the fact, this is a beautiful chart. And where we're currently trading, what I've noticed historically, right, just from my experience, the market doesn't like to sit in these make or break areas, right? But what the market likes to do is essentially pull the Uno reverse card, right? So whatever's obvious, it will do the opposite, right? In my opinion, right, both of these are obvious, right? The obvious move for the market would be reject, right? Also, it would be very obvious, since we've seen this strength, to break, right? So that's why I'm kind of a little, apprehensive to say, hey, I don't know what the fuck's going on. That's why I just got to be patient. Wait for the market to present opportunity based off price action, right? We're here to react, not predict. 476 breaks, we get the confirmation above, we look for longs. We get the confirmation below 471.50, we short the daylights out of it, right? So very, very simple. Just got to be patient, let a level of present opportunity, and we can react from there, right? So that's the game plan on QQQ. SPY, very similar chart in terms of structure. Right, monthly chart, extremely bullish. I mean, just look at it, right? That's a sight to see. You don't see this very often, right? On Friday, I went back and looked. The last time we've seen a move of this caliber on the monthly was 2007, right? Last time this has happened, where we've seen a 10% move to the downside, 10% move to the upside, flipping an extremely bearish monthly bar into an extremely bullish monthly bar, right? Last time this happened was literally, 17 years ago? That's fucking crazy, right? So the market, this day and age, is wild, right? Very, very wild. But levels are very clear here as well. Very, very nice chart. You guys can see, just by looking at the chart, the significance of this supply here at 555, 556, right? This is massive. Massive, massive, massive. And what's even more important is the context in which it's coming about, right? Just look at this move, right? We just essentially made a full-blown bull market move, which is, essentially 10%, 20%, back into this 555, which is insane, right? Insane. Absolutely insane, right? And game plan, similar here, right? Very open-ended, right? What we want to watch here, this is 556, right? If we want to look for a long position, we need to see SPY back above 556. If we get back above 556, that's where we can look for longs. Back into 560, we break 560, we're back into all-time highs at 565. Very simple game plan here. If we get above that 556, that's where we can say, hey, we're comfortable going long. We can look for that long position back into 560, then 565. Downside, what we would want to see, similar scenario as ES and the rest of the charts, is we want to see a rejection here, right? We want to see a rejection. And then we would want to see us get back below 550. If we get below 550, that's where we can look to go short, back down into 545. 545 is that big structure. We could look for a higher risk bounce there, but the main watch is going to be if we get below 545, that's where we can look for that short entry again, back down into 540. Main watch for a relief bounce is going to be 536, 537. And that's the game plan here on SPY. Big inflection point is going to be that 556, downsides 550. Very, very, very simple. Do not try to trade in between, right? That's just my advice to you guys, right? Don't try to trade in between of this here, right? This would be essentially the no trade zone, right? We need to get outside of this range ASAP, right? We break this range, that's where opportunity comes from. So be patient, let one of these levels break, then we can react according to price action, right? Very, very important. Very, very important, right? But yeah, guys, that's what I'm watching the ES, NQ, QQQ, and SPY. Let's get into the individual names for the week ahead. First things first, let's get into Walmart, right? My watch list is a little out of the ordinary this week. And what that shows you guys, right, is I adapt to the market, right? A lot of people don't know how to do this, right? They'll trade the same names every single day, hoping for something to happen. Trade according to your system, right? You're going to notice these stocks that I'm looking at tonight are very similar, but they're in different sectors. We noticed money last week rotating out of our big beta names, right? Our big tech names, right? Started retail popping, right? Walmart, Nike. We even started seeing money flow into gold. Adapt to the market, right? Don't just sit there and try to trade the same names every day just because you like the ticker. No, trade according to your system. That's super important, and it'll give you a much easier trading experience, right? So Walmart here, for example, you guys can see, right? We had a catalyst, which was earnings, massive gap up, back over this massive structure. So that's our setup, right? We're looking for a demand bounce, right? If we pull back into this previous resistance, which is now support, that's where we can look to go long. So the main watch here is going to be a pullback into 71, 71.5. This is a high confidence demand bounce. If we get down there, I would love to take it. On the flip side, let's say we continue to see strength here. Above 73.60, we can look to go long back into 75. The main watch for continuation is going to be above 75. We'll likely squeeze into those new all-time highs and round off at that 80 psychological level here. This is a beautiful, beautiful chart. You guys can see just as well as I can. This is an A+ setup, in my opinion, according to my system, right? I'm very, very excited to trade this. Next, we have gold. Very similar chart, right? If you look at Walmart, looks very similar, right? Look at this gold chart here. Massive, massive break here on the weekly. Nice, strong, convincing close. If we were to see this on the 5-minute time frame, what would we do, right? We'd simply wait for this candle to close. We'd simply wait for the next retracement back into this level at 229, and we look to go long. Same thing we're doing here, right? We identified our higher time frame level. So what we're going to do is go down to a lower time frame chart, like the intraday 5-minute time frame. We're going to watch price action as it approaches our level. We're going to look to see if price action confirms an entry. We get the confirmation. We define our risk. We enter, and that's how the fuck you execute and make money, right? Win, lose, or draw, you define your risk, and you continue executing, right? I've proved on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis that I execute at one of the highest levels, right? I have an I don't want to say it wrong. I have an 88.3% win rate over 60 trades in the past 3 months, right? Show me someone else who's doing that, not sitting there taking one red trade, one green trade in a day and call it a win. No, individual trades, right? I'm not taking one red trade one day, same day taking another green trade and then calling that a green day. No, I'm talking about individual trades, right? And what's most important about my system is I trade from a 2R multiple. And I don't just say that, right? A lot of people say stuff and not really do it, right? My numbers don't lie, right? I execute what I preach, right? My average winner is almost 40%. My average loser is 20%. That literally mirrors exactly what comes out of my mouth, right? 100%, right? My win rate, I don't give a fuck about, right? Because it's not important. A profit factor is important. My average winning trade to average losing trade replicates that in terms of my system, right? Now, my part is risk management, right? And I can literally, according to my system, have a 51% win rate and still be profitable based off my average winner and loser. You guys need to be finding that exact same data on yourself and trading according to where you're at as a trader, right? And who you are as a trader. That's how you excel, right? Don't worry about what someone else is doing in terms of risk management or trading psychology. Those are two components that you got to figure out on your own, right? And I tell my mentees the same thing. You can literally replicate everything from me, right? I give you the literal blueprint in terms of my mentorship. Introduction, and every lesson after that, I reiterate, hey, you cannot copy my risk management. You cannot copy my position size, right? You cannot replicate that, right? That's something you can't do. That's something no one can do. You shouldn't even want to do. Right? You gotta have your own risk management. You gotta have your own trading psychology because you're your own person. You feel your own emotions, right? So it's super important that you guys understand that. And I don't feel like it's talked about enough. So I feel like it's my obligation to enlighten you guys. Hey, this is something that you really need to be focused on with trading. If not, you're gonna notice a big regression in your trading when you're focused on the wrong things versus progressing when you're focused on the right things. So make sure you guys are taking initiative and doing what you gotta do to be that 1% better each day. But yeah, man. Gold here, beautiful chart, very similar to Walmart. What we're going to watch here is, one, we're going to watch a pullback, back into this 229, 229.60. I would consider this an A+ setup as well. This nice little demand bounce. On the flip side, if we continue showing strength here, above 232.50, which is Friday's highs, we can look for that break and hold to go long, and we can target that 235 psychological level, and then 240. Beautiful setup here, same as Walmart, looks very, very, very good. Next, want to go over Walmart here. Nike, sorry. Another retail name. Very, very clean chart. And we caught this swing, right? If you guys remember, this was 2 Sunday lives ago. I entered, right? I told you guys I'd enter on Monday. Literally, that following Monday, I signaled it, right? We went long on Nike, literally right here, right? We caught the bottom, literally bottom. So if you guys didn't catch the bottom, make sure you catch this trade. Right now, just for context, we're trading in this massive gap fill. We just reclaimed this huge structure here at 79. So this is a beautiful setup, right? This is a beautiful, beautiful chart. What we're going to watch here on Nike is, first things first, if we finally do see a pullback, right? Let's watch this 80-79 area for a demand bounce. We pull back in this area, 100% would look to take a demand bounce here. On the flip side, if we continue to see strength above 84, if we get a nice break and hold, that's where we can take on a long position. Target would be back up here at 89. That's the top of that gap fill. Obviously, it's not realistic to hold that whole $5 move. So make sure you guys trim into those impulse moves, trail your position with the 5 EMA, use those higher time frames to gain clarity, and go on about your day, right? So this is a beautiful setup. 79.80 for a demand bounce on Nike, or above 84 is where we can look to put on a long position for continuation. Looks very, very good. Very, very good. Another chart I want to talk about, CRM. This has a very, very, very close place to my heart. Still, one of my biggest trading days ever was on this. It was an overnight swing. And yeah, man, this is a beautiful chart. As you guys can see here, this is a big daily structure, big daily resistance, 266. Absolutely massive. Once was a major support, which is now being held below as resistance. What I want to watch here is if the market continues to show strength, CRM continues to show strength. If we can get above 266, that's where we can look for pullbacks to go long and target that 275. And then honestly, this has room back into 300. So bottom line is CRM gets above 266. That's where we can look to go long for continuation. Very, very simple. Next, we have Meta. A lot of people are going to be surprised about what I'm watching on Meta. But this chart, in my opinion, has value to both directions. But if you look at a weekly perspective here, right? We just tested those all-time highs last week. Essentially wicked them, failed them, and formed a nice little top wick here after failing below that previous weak structure. I like this for a downside, right? I'm not looking for a reject. I'm looking for downside continuation. What I want to watch on Meta is if we can break this structure, right? So if you look at these charts here, we obviously have our high. We put in a lower high here. So if we can take out that recent lower high, a higher low here at 520. So if Meta gets a break and hold below 520, that's where we can look to go short. This thing has nothing but room down into 500. So I like this a lot if, one, it can show relative weakness, or two, if it shows relative weakness and the market gets weak. This is one of my top short watches if we can get below 520. Absolutely love Meta. Next, we have Tesla. I know a lot of you guys are excited about this one. This is a very nice chart, right? Very nice chart here. Monthly chart, got essentially more than 75% of that wick bought up. That's nice strength there. Weekly charts, pretty strong. Daily chart is a little concerning considering we closed back into that massive resistance. As you guys can see here, on Friday we pushed into this trendline resistance, which is essentially holding this downtrend, and we rejected it. So that's that 220 level that I mentioned on my watch list. The game plan here on Tesla is very simple, right? If we want to look for longs in Tesla, we need to see a break and hold above 220. Right? If we get above 220 on Tesla, this is likely to be absolutely parabolic. So that's where we can look for that entry to go long above 220. This has nothing but room back into 235. This is one of my top long watches if we can get above 220 here. Absolutely beautiful chart. If you want a higher risk setup, which I personally will take myself, is if we pull back into this 210 and 211, right? If we pull back into 210, 211, and we start to form a base, I will take on a long position here. You guys can see that this has been a significant level regardless of support or resistance. So I definitely am interested in trading it if we do get that pullback. That's going to be 210, 211 or above 220. Very, very nice charts here. Just got to be patient and wait for the opportunity. There's a couple more names here that I didn't have on my watch list just because I didn't want to make it too long. But I'm going to cover it with you guys real quick. One is BA. For very valid reason. This is a weekly pullback. We now have a weekly double bottom here, forming that bullish engulfing after last week's snappy relief bounce. Daily chart's pretty parabolic here. I think BA has a lot more room to go. So what I want to watch on BA is, one, if we pull back into this 174 or 170 on BA, this is where I'm going to look for a relief bounce, and I'm going to look to enter a swing trade. My stop loss on this swing trade is going to be below 170, okay? So make sure you guys take note of the stop loss. We pull back into 174 or 170, I'm going to look for that relief bounce, and then that 170 level for a swing entry. Upside, honestly, above Friday's highs at 180, this looks very good. Has nothing but room back in at 185 and then 190. So this is a beautiful chart. Another one here is Baba. I really like this. We just broke this macro structure last week above 82. You guys can see here. Very nice chart, similar to Nike and Walmart in terms of the setup. I will love to trade this if, one, we get a pullback in 81.50, 82. I think that's very valid for a demand bounce. Or if we get above Friday's highs, we can look for that second day continuation above 84. If we get that 84 break and hold, we can look to go long. This has nothing but room back in a 90. Absolutely love this chart. We just got to wait for that opportunity. And that'll be Baba. Next, AMD. I think there's going to be some value here in semiconductors. I think they are a little bit overextended, but AMD and NVIDIA specifically, they do have nice charts, right? As you guys can see here, AMD has been in a nice little uptrend after testing that massive demand, leaving us with nice opportunity here. Number one on AMD, we have a big psychological level here at 150. If we can get above 150, that's where we can look for those pullbacks to go long. First target be 153.50, and then above that we have nothing but room in a 157. This is a very nice chart. We could also look for a higher risk relief bounce off this 144, 145, but it is higher risk due to how close we are trading to it. But yeah, these semis, AMD and NVIDIA, look very good, especially if we can get above those highs or that pullback in 144 or 145. NVIDIA, pretty much identical chart in terms of structure. If you look at AMD and NVIDIA, it's almost identical. Levels are a little bit different though. 125 on NVIDIA is absolutely massive. This is huge, right? So I want you guys to understand this level's massive. If we can get above 125.50 on NVIDIA, I 1000% will look for the next pullback to go long. Target would be that 129 and then 132. This is a beautiful chart, and honestly my top long watch if we can get above 125.50 on NVIDIA. Again, we could look for a higher risk demand bounce. That would be a pullback into this 120, 121, which also is that 50 MA on the daily. So I like this a lot. This is a beautiful, beautiful chart. We just got to wait for one, a pullback, or two above those highs to go long. And this is NVIDIA. NVIDIA and AMD are honestly two of my top watches. I just didn't want my watch list to be extremely long. But yeah, man. I'll go over the earnings with you guys. Sure. Where are the likes at? I want to make sure I'm keeping up with them. We're at 232, so another 18 likes. We'll have another giveaway in the books. Right now, I owe you guys one. And regardless of the fact, man, whether you guys like it or you don't like it, I just want to say I appreciate every single one of you guys' time. Seriously. You know, it's Sunday. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at least. I know everybody's in a different time zone, but I appreciate every single one of your guys' time. It would mean a lot if you did like it and subscribe to the channel. Very, very close to 10K. 10K, I am going to do a big giveaway as I do on Instagram. And yeah, man, again, appreciate every single one of you guys' time. You guys know I get absolutely nothing from this. I've been doing it free for literal years now, and I plan on to continue. So if you guys tune in, you guys show love, that makes me happy. As long as you guys are learning, as long as you guys are earning, I'm happy, man. But yeah, earnings calendar. Let's see what we got here. There's a couple interesting names. I looked at it earlier. A lot of retail. So let's check this out. Monday after close, big name here, Palo Alto. This is a fun one to trade. Tuesday pre-market, we got Lowe's. It's another one, fun one to trade. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday before market open, we have Target, fun one to trade. Wednesday after hours, a couple interesting names. Snowflake, we have Zoom. Thursday, Peloton, that's an interesting name to trade. After close, we have Kava, W Day, those are fun to trade. And yeah, man, we got a couple good names here, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll say 9, right? We have 8 or 9 nice earnings, right? So these are all potential A+ setups. You guys know this already, right? If one of these names has a big gap up, big gap down, we can look for that second day bounce, second day reject, second day continuation. These are 9 different post-earnings A+ setups. So very excited about this calendar. These are, you know, outside of the usual names we trade, but they're very fun to trade. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to Lowe's, Target, Zoom, Snow, and should be a lot of nice value from this earnings calendar. And yeah, man, that's what you guys should keep an eye on. No straddles for me. Maybe. But yeah, man, let's conclude this Sunday watch list. I owe you guys a giveaway, so let's go ahead and do that. I do want to try something, because last time the giveaway thing worked. Oh, wow. We're almost at 300. All right, cool. Appreciate you guys. So right now, I owe you guys 2 giveaways. I made a new one, right? Let me see. Giveaways. Let's see if this works. If this works, I'm going to be very, very happy. Very, very happy. Because with the other giveaway thing, it was kind of fucked up because, I'm sorry to say this, people would tune in for the first time for the live and win. I wanted to find something that made it fair for people who've been tuning in, who are subscribed and stuff like that, and I finally found it. So this is what we're working with. Right, this is very, very cool. Let's go ahead and check this out. So for the giveaway, this is how it works. Obviously, you guys can see the chat. I'm going to make it so everybody can join. I think this is done. I'm going to make a keyword. Let me see. Okay. So in order to win, right? Let's do this. So if you're subscribed, you're two times more likely to win. If you're a regular, you're 3 times more likely to win. In order to win, you have to be active within the past 15 minutes. Right? So that's fair. So in order to win, you have to type a message in the past 15 minutes. And yeah, that's it. If you're a regular, you get 3 times more likely to win. If you're subscribed, you get 2 times more likely to win. Now, is that fair? Is that fair to you guys? You guys don't have to type anything either. Is that fair? You guys think this is fair or no? Should I go back to the keyword? What do you guys think? Put a 1 if this is fair, 2 if it's not. And you can see who's eligible or not right here. So right now, only 40 people are eligible. So make sure you guys have met that criteria. All you gotta do is type a message, and you're pretty much in. This is fair. Okay, cool, awesome. Alrighty, so I'm gonna give it 10 seconds. If you haven't typed in the past 15 minutes, I encourage you to do so now. Starting now, I'm gonna give it 15 seconds. I'm gonna take a drink of water, and we'll get it rolling. Again, if you're subscribed to the channel, you get 2 times. You're two times more likely to win. If you tune in regularly, you're 3 times more likely to win. So I felt like that was very fair, especially for the people that tune in all the time. And yeah, man, let's get it. Alrighty, let's see. I click roll it. That's a good winner. Hey, Fleeky XO. I feel like is that Ebony? No, that's not Ebony. That's a good winner though. See, and the thing is, she's a regular. She's a regular, so it works. Nice. I'm glad I found this. This is cool. Fleeky, are you here? Okay. Oh, this is really cool. It shows them if they type a message after they won. Nice. Cool. Hey, I like this. I wish I would have found this a lot earlier. I feel like I got jewed out of a lot of money because a bunch of... Let me send this to Dom. It shows their YouTube profile too. That's perfect. Alright. Next person. Let's get it. Suave. Where you at? Where y'all at? You got, after your name pops up, you got 30 seconds as a rule. So where you at? Suave. He said finally. Hold on. Let me see how long he's been in here. Hold on. Can you guys see my screen? Oh, you guys can see my screen. You guys can see everything, right? Can you guys see everything? He's attended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I like this. You guys like this? I feel like this is a lot better. I feel like the winner is more fair, especially for people who have been here a long time. People who are regulars, people that attend. I feel like this is better. I feel like this is better, right? I feel like doing giveaways all night now. Yeah, this is much better. All right, let's do one more for the fuck of it. Oh, let me send a screenshot. This is cool. I like this. This is a lot better. All right, one more. Stacker Star of J. Where's he at? You got 30 seconds. Start the timer. Like, it better if I win? Yeah. I'm going to do one for the new people as well. I feel like that's fair. So every night, every Sunday, I'll do one with everything turned off, which is for everyone, and then I'll obviously do these. I think that's fair. Stacker Star of J, where you at? Awesome. There he goes. Perfect. I'm not gonna lie, you messaged at 28 seconds. So if you would have messaged another 2 seconds later, I'm not gonna lie, I would have had to keep it pushing. So you got pretty lucky there. Alright, let's see how. Alright, let's go to cancel. Let's turn everything off. I'm just gonna make it. Oh, I can do the keyword too. Oh shit, I didn't know that. I can do this with a keyword too. Cool. Okay, so channel member luck. Let's keep that at 2x. 2 times more likely to win if you're subscribed. Regulars, 3 times more likely. Let's just keep it like that. Let's go. Turbo's the keyword. Let's go. I'm going to disable that. If you type the word more than 5 times, you get disqualified. So just type it 1 time. I like this a lot. This is cool. The new clothes drop. Yeah, we'll better check that out in a second. Next Sunday. So I don't have much time right now. But next Sunday, obviously we'll do the cash giveaways. But next Sunday, I'll give away a bunch of merch as well. Dom just dropped a new merch line. I think it drops tomorrow, so y'all be sure to check that out. And yeah, man, next week I'll give away a bunch of merch too. That shit's hard, bro. I don't wear anything else. Like I'm being honest with you guys. I'm not gonna say too much, but I've owned Louis, Fendi, Dior, all the designers, right? I've also wore Goodfellow from Target, which was my favorite previously. I've wore Hanes, I've wore Fruit of the Loom, I've wore everything, right? And I promise you, the quality of Stock Streetwear's merch exceeds all of those and some. It's one of the most comfortable hoodies, crew necks, t-shirts, absolutely insane. And it's fashionable for us as traders. That's what's most important, right? But alrighty, let's get it. Michael Hansen, my man Cloudy Mick, let's fucking go, man. That's a good winner. I'm happy you won, brother. That's awesome. He just completed the mentorship too. He's a mentee. Let's go. I just feel so much better. I know I keep saying it, but like I feel like I was getting cheated before. Am I wrong for feeling that? Like I feel good like when a mentee wins, or if I feel good if someone wins that's been supporting for like a year or 2 years. You know what I mean? Like not that I don't want everybody to win, but it just feels better if someone like who's shown me love more. You get what I'm saying? Like versus a random person. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense, or am I a dickhead for saying that? I feel like it makes sense, right? Like I would rather Dom win than someone who tuned in for the first time tonight. I'm sorry for anybody that's new, but you know, you get what I'm saying. Just like if it was your friend or y'all whatever I'm saying, whatever. I don't need to over-explain it. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? All right, that's gonna be the last one tonight. 4 different winners tonight. Congratulations to Fleeky, Suave, Stacker Star J, and Michael Hansen, which is Cloudy Mick, man. Good winners. Very happy tonight. Very happy that this new giveaway thing worked. I just feel better. I just feel better about doing them. So very happy with that. Speak on the mentorship. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? It is open. Here, I'll pin this for you so you can see it. Mentorship is open, so if you are interested, you can check it out. I think the new merch tomorrow drops for Stock Streetwear. We can take a look at that real quick before I rock out. But whatever you guys want to know, we'll do a quick Q&A, whether it's a question about me, whether it's a question about mentorship, whether it's about trading, whether it's about entrepreneurship, whatever the case may be. Whatever it may be. So it's tomorrow, 11 a.m. PST. So I think that's what, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It opens. I think we can go check out their page. Let me see. Some very dope stuff. So we'll check it out next Sunday. I'll do a bunch of giveaways as well. Yeah, shout out to Cloudy, man. Nice. What's up, Carlos? What should you put in your kids' account? Wait for a big dip and buy everything. You know, buy all the big companies. Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google. Just wait for a big dip. Wait for a big dip. Wait for a big dip. Buy everything. Buy the dip. Everybody, buy the dip. It's the best advice I can give you guys. Best strategy there is. How long is the mentorship? 4 weeks. 4 weeks. But I gotta get home, guys. What comes with the mentorship? So you get, when you first sign up for the mentorship, right? Say for example, you go buy it right now, right? First things first, you're gonna get an email saying, hey, this is how you join the Discord, and then you're also gonna get signed up to WAP. On WAP, I have a 50 video catalog where it's a pre-mentorship course, right? So you're essentially going to get briefed on my systems, my strategies, terminology, all the basics before the mentorship. So you essentially take a mentorship before the mentorship. So that's pre-recorded. You watch the videos, get prepared for the mentorship, and then you'll do the 4-week live mentorship. It's held on Monday or Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we hop on Zoom. It's open mic. You can ask questions, and we'll cover the mentorship together, right? Upon completion of the mentorship, that's when obviously you can do the 101s. So after the live mentorship, we'll be able to hop on a 101. And that way it's a lot more personable. And you can ask any question you want to, right? I even help outside of trading. Like a good mentee of mine, Coleman, when he took my mentorship, he had just dropped out of college. He had 0 credit score. We hopped on a 101. Somehow we got on the topic of credit. And he was like, bro, I don't even have a credit card. I was like, what the fuck? So I helped him. And that's, I mean, look at Coleman now, right? He's the prime example of a product of the mentorship, right? Whether it's trading or just credit in general or business, you know, he's absolutely killing it in the fitness world right now. Same thing with trading. And it's, yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, so you sign up, you get access to the pre-recorded classes before the mentorship, like a mentorship before the mentorship. Then you take the live mentorship. I'm not like these other fucking weirdos that charge you for everything. You pay for the mentorship, that's it. You get lifetime access to live trading, Discord community. I do a mentee meetup once a year, which is getting ready to happen within the next few months. I pushed it off a little bit because I got sick, but I can't push it off anymore. We're about to knock that out ASAP. We're going to go somewhere nice, have a good time with the family, man, the mentee family, and we're going to go about our business. But, yeah, man, I got to go. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Congrats to the 4 winners. I will see a lot of you guys tomorrow for some live trading. You guys know the vibes.